Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful braided crop top. It's Pinterest inspired as well as Instagram inspired. It's not an original design, but later on we shall change it into an original. For now, we are going to just do the basic top as it was seen on Instagram. I found the perfect yarn for this top, and I have been having this yarn for a while, though I had never used it, so I would 100% recommend it for summer wear. And if you can access this yarn, please make sure you get a hold of it in any color. All colors are nice and it has beautiful blends. And so yeah, let's dive right into the materials. Guys, these are all the materials that you'll need. You'll need one ball of yarn. I used approximately one ball or even less. And this is 200 meters and each ball is 100 grams. This is Katopu Baby Natural Cotton. And let me see what other details are there. It's 51% acrylic and 49% cotton. So it's a cotton and acrylic blend. And then the hook that I'm using for this project is a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. And you also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, a measuring tape, and a stitch marker. These are a must. So once you get all your materials ready, let's dive right into the tutorial. Alright, so you're going to grab your 3.5 millimeter crochet hook and your yarn, and you're going to start off with a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you're going to twist your yarn like this, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through, and then tighten your slip knot. So this should be adjustable, as you can see here. That loop should be adjustable. Now we're going to make a chain of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this should be the starting chain regardless of what size that you're making for. So 12 chains. And you're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So count here, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, you're going to yarn over and double crochet into that 4th chain. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's our double crochet. So the chain of 3 at the beginning also counts as a double crochet. So far we have a total of 2 double crochets. Then continue to double crochet. This is the 3rd double crochet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you should be left with only 1 chain. So we have only 1 chain left. We have a total of 9 double crochets, including the chain 3 that counts as a double crochet here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then into the last chain, you're going to place a total of 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this brings us to the opposite side of the starting chain. After placing 5 double crochets into the last chain, we're going to go into these chains on the opposite side until we have a total of 9 double crochets after the 5 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into this chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet, and I'm going to work around this chain so that I weave it in. So go into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's the 2nd stitch. This is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and the 9th should be here in that chain, the very last chain. So what we have right now is 9 double crochets on this side, and then the stitch that has the 5 double crochets, and then 9 double crochets on the opposite side. And you should have worked in a U shape. Alright, so we're going to go to row 2, and from row 2 onwards, we're going to start with a chain of 2 that counts as a double crochet. So that's our very first double crochet. Turn your work, and since this counts as a double crochet, we are not going to go into the very first stitch because it's attached to the chain 2. So go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet. So that counts as 2 double crochets, the chain 2 and the double crochet here. And we want a total of 9 double crochets. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So after your 9 double crochets, we are counting from this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Into the 10th, you're going to place 2 double crochets. And then place 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 3 double crochets into the next stitch. 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then in each of the last 9 stitches, you're going to place 1 double crochet. So let's see: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on top of the chain 3, which should be the 9th stitch, you're also going to place 1 double crochet. Okay, so this is what you should have for row 2. We're going on to row 3. You're going to make a chain of 2, turn your work, and the chain of 2 counts as a double crochet. So after your chain of 2, you're going to go into the next stitch with a double crochet. So that counts as 2 double crochets. We want a total of 9. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So after your 9 double crochets, you're going to go into the next one, which should be the 10th, and you're going to create an increase by placing 2 double crochets there. And then you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, and then 3 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to introduce a stitch marker. The last 3 stitches that you just placed, you're going to place a stitch marker into the middle stitch, which is the 2nd stitch. And then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 9 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on top of the chain 2 you place your 9th double crochet. So this marks the end of row 3, and your work should look like this. This is the top part of the bra cup, the flat edge, and then this is the bottom part. So let's go on to row 4. You're going to make a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet. So we want a total of 9 double crochets. So we have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pay close attention to this row because it's the repeat row, the row that we are going to keep repeating until we get enough coverage for our bra cup. So when you have your 9 stitches, as you can see here, you're going to go into the next stitch and you're going to place 2 double crochets. And then from here, you're going to go into each of the next stitches until you have 1 stitch to the stitch with a stitch marker. So we're going to place 1 stitch in each of these stitches until we have 1 stitch to the one with a stitch marker. So we're going to stop on this one. So just for reference purposes, I have a total of 6 stitches before I reach the one before the stitch marker. So these are 6 after the increase. After this, in the stitch with the stitch before the stitch marker, you're going to place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And then you're going to remove the stitch marker, and into that stitch that had the stitch marker, you're going to place 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to replace the stitch marker into the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets. And then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And you're going to look before here. In between the 2 increases, you're going to count the number of stitches that you have on this side. So since I mentioned that I have a total of 6 stitches before the next increase, I'm going to do a total of 6 stitches on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then it's time for us to create our next increase, and you'll place 2 double crochets into the next stitch and place 1 double crochet in each of the next 9 stitches. You should be left with 9 stitches. So you're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on top of the chain 2, make sure you always place a stitch, and that should be your 9th double crochet. So that marks the end of row 4. I'm going to demonstrate row 5 as well. For row 5, you're going to make a chain of 2, turn your work. The chain of 2 counts as a double crochet, and you're going to go into the next stitch with a double crochet. Those are 2 stitches. We want a total of 9 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you're going to create an increase into the next stitch by placing 2 double crochets into it. And then you're going to place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you get to the stitch before the one with the stitch marker. So we are going to stop on this one. So just place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you have 1 stitch to the one with the stitch marker. Alright, so let's count the number of stitches that we have after the increase. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then into the stitch before the stitch marker, we are going to create an increase. Another thing that I want to point out is the number of stitches in between the 2 increases, this one and this one here, is going to keep increasing by 3. So at row 3, I think, yes, at row 3, you have a total of 3 stitches in between the increases. At row 4, you have a total of 6 stitches in between the increases. At row 5, you have a total of 9 stitches in between the increases. And that means for the next row, which should be row 6, you will be having a total of 12 stitches in between the 2 increases. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier for you to count and keep track of the stitches. So create an increase into the stitch before the stitch marker by placing 2 double crochets. Remove the stitch marker, and into the stitch that had the stitch marker, you're going to place 3 double crochets. And then replace the stitch marker into the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets. And since we had a total of 9 stitches in between the 2 increases here, we are going to go ahead and, first of all, after the 3 double crochets, you're going to create an increase into the next stitch. And then place your 9 double crochets in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So after your 9 double crochets, or whatever number that you had in between the 2 increases here, you're going to go ahead and place an increase into the next stitch by placing 2 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet in each of the last 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on top of the chain 2, you're going to place your 9th stitch, because the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. So this is what you'll have. This marks the end of row 5. Row 6, now we know exactly what to do. You're going to make a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet. 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches to make a total of 9 double crochets. So once you have your 9 double crochets, you're going to create an increase into the next stitch by placing 2 double crochets. And then you're going to double crochet. Remember, I told you that the number of stitches increases by 3. That means we are going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next 12 stitches, because for the previous row we placed 1 double crochet in each of the next 9. So 9 plus 3 is 12. That means for this new row we are placing 1 in each of the next 12 stitches, and that should bring us to 1 stitch to the stitch with a stitch marker. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you can see where we are right now. We have one stitch to the stitch marker, and we're going to go into that stitch before the stitch marker and create an increase by placing 2 double crochets. Remove the stitch marker, and into that stitch that had the stitch marker you're going to place 3 double crochets and replace the stitch marker into the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets you just placed, and then create an increase into the next stitch by placing 2 double crochets, and then you're going to go ahead and place 1 double crochet in each of the next 12 stitches, just like we have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So after your 12 double crochets, you're going to place an increase into the next stitch by placing 2 double crochets into the stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the last 9 stitches. You should be left with 9 stitches at the end. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 into the top of the chain 2. So that marks the end of row 6. This is what we have. If you see your work curling or curving, don't try to straighten it out. It's creating room for the bust. As you can see here, we have a curl on our bra cup. So we're going on to row 7, and by now you should have mastered the pattern. We're going to make a chain of 2, turn your work, 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches to make a total of 9 double crochets, including the chain 2 at the beginning of the row that counts as a double crochet. And then you're going to go into the next stitch with an increase. So place 2 double crochets, and then since the previous row had a total of 12 stitches in between the 2 increases, that means the next row, which is this one, row 7, should be having a total of 15 stitches in between the increases, because 12 plus 3 is 15. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 15 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and this is the 15th, and that should bring us to 1 stitch to the stitch marker, as you can see here. So the stitch before the stitch marker gets an increase, so place 2 double crochets into it. Remove the stitch marker. Into the stitch that had the stitch marker, you're going to place 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and then replace the stitch marker into the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets you just placed. And then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 15 stitches, just like we did on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so after your 15 double crochets, you're going to go into the next stitch with an increase. So place 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the last 9 stitches to wind up your row. So that marks the end of row 7. Alright, so after the 7th row, this will be for size extra small, small, and for all the other sizes I'll be recommending a number of rows to make. And if I take a measurement across, I have approximately 6 inches. So for the upper sizes, you're going to increase by 1 inch. By 1 inch, which is exactly 1 row, because each row increases by 1 inch. It increases by half an inch on both sides. So it increases this length by 1 inch. And then it increases this length by half an inch. So I'll be recommending a number of rows to make for the different sizes. And from here, you can remove your stitch marker if you're a size extra small to small. This is the size for you. Those are the measurements for you. And you're going to go ahead and chain 1, cut your yarn. This was my very first break-up. 7 rows. And then I made an identical piece, as you can see here. 7 rows of this and 7 rows of the second one. And after this, on the first break-up, you'll chain 1 and cut your yarn. But for the second break-up, don't cut your yarn. Make sure this tail that's on the side. Let me actually cut off this so that we don't confuse the tails. So make sure these tails are facing the same direction. And after your last row, just place your work like this. Now you're going to make a chain of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and attach into the very first stitch on this side. That should be on top of the chain 2. Attach with a slip stitch. This is what you should have. And then you're going to slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches on this side. So go into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, and slip stitch into the 3rd stitch. Then turn your work. Go into the 3rd chain of the chain 5 you just made. And you're going to place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to make a chain of 1 and 3 more double crochets into the same chain. 2 and 3. And then place your work like this. Now we should be on the back side of the break-ups. From here, you're going to count. Don't count the very first stitch. So count from this one, 1, 2, 3, and into the 3rd stitch, you're going to place a slip stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Turn your work. You're going to go into the chain 1 space and place 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the same chain 1 space of the previous shell. And then you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and into the 3rd stitch you're going to place a slip stitch. Those are the first 2 rows in the middle design. Now we're going on to the next row, which is row 3 of the middle design. You're going to slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, and then you're going to make a chain of 1. Turn your work, and into the chain 1 space of the shell from the previous row you're going to place a shell. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, count to the 3rd stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and into the 3rd you're going to place a slip stitch. So this is what you should have. Slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, actually chain 2. After the double crochet you're going to make a chain of 2 and then a shell into the chain 1 space of the previous shell. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip the next 3 stitches, sorry, count to the 3rd stitch, 1, 2, 3, into the 3rd you're going to place a slip stitch. That marks the end of row 4 of the middle design. So row 5 you're going to slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1. After your chain of 1 you're going to go into the next double crochet, which is this one, and you're going to place 1 double crochet, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and you're going to place a shell into the chain 1 space of the previous shell. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet. So into that one you're going to place a double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, count to the 3rd stitch, 1, 2, 3, and into the 3rd you're going to place a slip stitch. That marks the end of row 5 of the middle design. Row 6 you're going to slip stitch into each of the next 3 stitches, chain 1, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. Then from here we are going to make a chain of 2, skip over the chain 2 space and go into the chain 1 space of the previous shell and you're going to place a shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets. Chain 2, skip over the chain 2 space and go into the next double crochet with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, skip over the next 2 stitches, and then into the third you're going to place a slip stitch. That marks the end of row 6 of the middle design. So we are going to just keep repeating that. Slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, chain 1, turn, double crochet into the first chain 1 space, and then from here chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. So you double crochet until you run out of stitches, until you get towards the next shell, and then you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over the chain 2 space, and then place a shell into the chain 1 space of the previous shell. That is 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. So after the shell, you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over the chain 2 space and double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the last chain 1 space, and chain 1, count to the third stitch, 1, 2, and into the third you're going to place a slip stitch, and that is the 7th row. Row 8, slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to repeat the same exact process. So the number of double crochet stitches that is here keeps increasing because we keep increasing it on the edge. So let's see row 8. After your chain of 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet into the last double crochet towards the shell. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 2, and into the chain 1 space of the previous shell you're going to place a shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets. From here you're going to make a chain of 2, and then double crochet into the next standalone double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1. You're going to repeat that until you place a double crochet into the last double crochet. Then you're going to make a chain of 1, double crochet into the chain 1 space, and then chain 1, count to the third stitch, 1, 2, and into the third you're going to place a slip stitch. Now we're going to repeat the same exact row. Slip stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, chain 1 and turn your work, double crochet into the very first chain 1 space, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, and you're going to repeat that until we get to the chain 2 space. So we've reached the chain 2 space. You're going to chain 2, skip over the chain 2 space, place a shell into the chain 1 space of the previous shell, chain 2, double crochet into the next standalone double crochet, and continue with the mesh pattern. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet all the way across until you place a double crochet into the last double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the last chain 1 space, chain 1, count to the 3rd stitch and slip stitch. Alright, so you're going to repeat that row until you're almost flat. You're saying the very last row is almost in the same line as the base of the bra cups. And then you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, leaving a tail to weave in. Pull through. So we've done a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 rows, but you can go ahead to do as many rows as long as you get to almost a flat edge at the base of your top. Alright, so we're going to place our work in a way that we are working in the opposite direction of the previous row, of this row here. So you can see the previous row was worked like this. So on this side that has this tail, you're going to attach your yarn into the 8th stitch from the slip stitch. So the slip stitch was worked here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and into the 8th stitch you're going to attach your yarn and you're going to make a chain of 5, which counts as a double crochet, chain 2. Skip over 2 stitches and into the next chain, the next stitch, you're going to place a shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets into the same exact stitch, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the next stitch you're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and into the stitch that got the last slip stitch you're going to place a double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and double crochet into the next stitch. So just like that, we are back to the mesh pattern, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the chain 2 space before the next shell. Alright, so this is what we have. You're going to make a chain of 2 and place a shell into the chain 1 space of the next shell. Chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and go ahead and do the mesh pattern on this side as well. Chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch until you place a double crochet into the last double crochet. So here we are with a double crochet into the last double crochet. You're going to make a chain of 1 and you're going to place a double crochet into the stitch where the previous row starts from. So into that stitch with a slip stitch, you're going to place a double crochet there, chain 1, double crochet, skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 2 stitches and place a shell into the next stitch. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and then you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 stitches and double crochet into the 3rd stitch. So that marks the end of this row. This will be row 1 of the long rows, the one that the rows that are worked across both bra cups. So we're going on to row 2 of the long rows. You're going to make a chain of 5, turn your work. Into the chain 1 space of the next shell, you're going to place a shell. From here, you're going to make a chain of 1, and you're going to skip over the next double crochet and go into the next with 1 double crochet, because now we want our work to start decreasing. So you skip this one and go into the next. Then work the middle part as usual. Create the mesh pattern with chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, all the way until the chain 2 space before the next shell. Okay, so this is what we have. You're going to make a chain of 2 and place a shell into the next shell, and by now you know what a shell is. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 2, double crochet into the next double crochet, and continue to place the mesh pattern until you have 2 double crochets left on your row before the next shell. So we have 2 double crochets left. We have this one and this one. So you're going to make a chain of 1, double crochet into the next, and then make a chain of 1, skip over the last double crochet before the next shell, and then place a shell into the chain 1 space of the last shell. Chain 2, skip over 2 chains and double crochet into the next chain. So we are going to repeat that row, and you're going to see your work shrinking to create some sort of pointed effect. Chain 5, turn, shell into the next shell, chain 1, skip the first double crochet and go into the second with a double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, create the mesh pattern until the chain 2 space, chain 2, a shell into the next shell, chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, continue to place the mesh pattern, until you have only one double crochet before the next shell. So we have this double crochet, you're going to make a chain of 1, skip over it, and go into the next shell with a shell. From here, you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over the next 2 chains of the chain 5, and double crochet into the 3rd chain. This is what we have. So repeat that row until you have a total of 3 double crochets in between. Alright, so we have 3 stitches in between the shells, and we're just going to continue until we have only 1. So chain 5, turn your work, a shell into the first shell, skip over the next double crochet, double crochet into the next, sorry, after chaining 1, so you chain 1, skip over this, and go into the next with 1 double crochet, chain 2, sorry, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, and then chain 2 and a shell into the next shell. Chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip over the last double crochet, and a shell into the last shell. Chain 2, skip over 2 chains and double crochet into the 3rd. So now we have 2 stitches in between the shells, and we want only 1 stitch. So chain 5, turn your work, a shell into the very first shell, chain 1, skip over the next double crochet and double crochet into the next stitch, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 2, double crochet, sorry, a shell into the middle shell, then chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet, and you're going to make a chain of 1 and shell into the very last shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets, chain 2 and skip over 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain of the chain 5 you're going to place a double crochet. So this is what we have for now. This is what the base of our work looks like. Alright, so when you have only 1 stitch left in between the shells, that marks the end of the bottom design. Alright guys, now we are going to level up the base of our top. this design here. So to do that, you're going to make a chain of 1. I've already done mine. And you're going to place 1 half double crochet into the very first stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. And then into the chain 1 space, you're going to go in there with a half double crochet. And you're going to continue to half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And into the chain 1 space of the shell, you're still going to place a half double crochet. Half double crochet into the first stitch after the chain 1 space. And then you're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. Double crochet into the next stitch. Now we are at the chain 1 space. You're not going to place anything there. You're just going to go directly into the next double crochet, the standalone double crochet, and you're going to place a double crochet there. So this is what we have right now. Then from here, you're going to just cross over. You're not going to place anything into the chain 1 space. So you're going to double crochet into the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, just like that, and then half double crochet into the next stitch before the chain 1 space of the shell. Half double crochet into the chain 1 space, half double crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to half double crochet into the stitch before the chain 1 space, half double crochet into the chain 1 space, and half double crochet into the stitch after the chain 1 space. And then from here, you're going to double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. And then you're going to skip the next chain 1 space. Actually, this is a chain 2 space. These are chain 2 spaces. Just skip over them. We don't place anything there. And you're going to place a double crochet into the standalone double crochet. And then you're going to skip over the chain 1 space and double crochet into the next stitch. And then double crochet into the next stitch. And then half double crochet into the next stitch. So we've reached the chain 1 space. You'll place 1 half double crochet into that chain 1 space. And then half double crochet into the next stitch. Now we are coming to the end of the row and we are just placing 1 half double crochet in each and every stitch until we get to the chain 5 space. Now you're going to go into the chain 5 space with 1 half double crochet and then count to the 3rd chain from the base, 1, 2, and into the 3rd you're going to place a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all. So we've tried to level up the base of our top, and then from here you're going to just make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. We shall come back to the sides later on. All right, so this is what we have. Now we're going to attach our yarn onto this side. You're going to locate which side you want to be the right side of your work. For me, this is the right side and this is the wrong side. What I'm considering is the side where I worked the last row. You can see the last row is worked on this side. So the right side of the backups, that's what I want to consider as the right side of my top. So you're going to place your work like this, and then we're going to attach our yarn 2 stitches away from where we attached this one. So 1, 2, and into the 2nd stitch we are attaching our yarn like this. Now we're going to clean up the edge, the side edge of the top. To do that, you're going to skip over the next stitch, this one, and go where we attached this double crochet here. So yarn over, insert your hook into that space and place a double crochet. And then from now onwards, we're going to place 2 double crochets into the double crochet row, and then a double crochet into the space, that stitch in between the 2 rows. You're going to place a double crochet there, and then 2 double crochets into the next row, and then in between the rows, you're going to go into that space and place a double crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way down. So you can see we are cleaning up the edges, the side edges of the bottom design of the top. All right, so we've come to the base, as you can see here. Now we are going to go into that. You remember the chain 1 that we placed before cleaning up the base? You're going to go into that space, that chain 1 space, and you're going to place a total of 5 double crochets. That's the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. So once you place 5 double crochets, you should literally be facing this side. As you can see here, we've created a corner of some sort. From here, you're going to go into each and every stitch at the base of the top. We've already cleaned up the edge, the bottom edge of the top. So you just go into each and every stitch at the base of the top with 1 double crochet. Okay, so you can see the base of our work is totally flat now. We don't have any dents. If there are any, they are negligible, so they are almost invisible. So we're placing our last double crochet into the last stitch here, and then we are going to go onto the side of our row, our cleanup row at the base of the top, and we're going to place a total of 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that will bring us to the opposite side of the bottom edge of our top. So we're going to clean up the edge on this side. So just as we did on this side, we're going to go into each and every row with 2 double crochets, and then into the spaces in between the 2 rows, those ones that look like stitches, we place 1 double crochet. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to weave in this tail as well. All right, so we've made it all the way across, and this is exactly what we have. Look how pretty the edges are. And once you place 2 double crochets into your very last row of double crochets here, you're going to go into that stitch where this double crochet is attached, into that stitch there with a double crochet, and then skip the next stitch, and into the next you're going to place a slip stitch. That's what we have right now. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Leave a tail behind to weave in. So this is what you should have. Now we're going to go onto the sides of the top and we create some extension towards the armpit area, towards the back of the top, so that we can create a lace-up design at the back. So to do that, you're going to attach your yarn in a way, actually you're going to just attach it at the top of the backup, the top corner, and you're going to make a chain of 1 and half double crochet all the way down. So we are placing 1 half double crochet into each and every stitch all the way down until we get to the bottom design of the top. Alright, so I'm placing my very last half double crochet into the last stitch before the bottom design. So I've worked all the way down like this. From here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work, and you're going to half double crochet 7 times. So half double crochet into the very first stitch, 1, into the next, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So once you're done with 7 half double crochets, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, just like that, and then turn your work. So our aim is to have a flat edge on this side. So after you slip stitch, turn your work, and you're not going to make a chain of 1. After the slip stitch, you're going to directly turn and then skip over that slip stitch and go into the next stitch and half double crochet into each of the 7 stitches. So that's my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So you should be having a total of 7 double crochets for this row. This is row 3 of the extension, the side extension. So row 4, you're going to make a chain of 1, and this one is going to cut all the way across. So you're going to go into the very first stitch and half double crochet in each of the 7 stitches, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So once you have your 7 double crochets, you're going to go into that space, that one there, with the one that got the slip stitch, and you're going to place a half double crochet and then half double crochet all the way up. So your work may not look as flat as you wish for now, but it will even out later on. So half double crochet all the way to the end of the row. All right, so this is row 4, and you can see how this side is totally different from the dent that we have on this side. So you can see how we are trying to even out that side so that we get a flat edge. So let's go on to row 5. You're going to make a chain of 1 and half double crochet in each and every stitch all the way to the base of the backup. So we are literally just half double crocheting once in each and every stitch across the row. All right, so this is what we have. If you feel like this is totally fine by you, you're just going to keep creating half double crochet rows back and forth. But if you feel like it's still slanted, Then you're going to repeat the same process as for row 2 and row 3, and then this will extend towards this side. But I think this is totally fine by me. I've already created that sort of evening out so that I create a flat edge on the sides of the top, because when the bust or when the boob sits into this space, then this is going to be flat at the side of my top. So this is where I'm going to stop the increases on row 3. I'm not going to do any more short rows to try to even out the sides of the top. So from now on, I'm going to just do half double crochet rows back and forth until I have enough coverage, and I'll come back and let you know how many rows I ended up doing in order to get the coverage that I wanted for my top. Alright guys, I ended up doing a total of 12 rows, including the short rows, the 2 short rows that we created here. But if you exclude them, I have a total of 10 rows. So counting from here, if we had count only on this side, I have a total of 12 rows. But if we count at the base, we have, sorry, counting from here, we have 10 rows, because they're not inclusive of the 2 rows, the 2 short rows that we created at the base of the top. But if we count from the base, we have a total of 12 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then when you count from this side, I have a total of 10 rows. So that's approximately what I needed to create some sort of back coverage before I start creating the loops for lacing up. So you can do as long as you wish, but make sure it doesn't wrap around entirely, because we have to create room for the lace up at the back of the top. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 4, which counts as a double crochet chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. So we are literally creating a mesh pattern for this row. Repeat that, chain 1, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. Okay, so this is, I'm ending my row with a double crochet into the last stitch, and I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have a total of 10 loops, but whatever number of loops that you have should be totally fine, as long as you balance what you will do on this side as well. So I have a total of 10 loops, and I'm going to clean up the edge by creating a chain of 1 and turning my work. I'm going to go ahead and place 2 single crochets into each and every space in order to clean up the edge. So 2 single crochets in each and every chain 1 space. All right, so I'm placing 2 single crochets into the very last chain 4 space, and this is what we have. From here, you're going to make a chain of 1, and if you have another ball of yarn, don't cut your yarn from here, because it's going to clean up the top side of our top. So what I want to do is to use another ball of yarn or some extra yarn to do this extension on this side as well, on the second side. So we're going to repeat the same exact process. I'll show you how to start, and then you'll go ahead and rewind the video and repeat the same exact instructions. for the second side. So you attach your yarn at the top corner of the second bra cup on the outside edge. So remember, the chain 2 at the beginning of the row counted as a stitch. So that's where I'm going to attach my yarn into the top of the chain 2. Just like that. Chain 1. And then half double crochet all the way down, starting with that very stitch. I'm going to place a half double crochet into it, and then half double crochet all the way down. Alright, so rewind your video and repeat the same exact process as we've done on the first side. Make sure the number of rows that you've done on the first side is the same exact number of rows that you do for the second side, so that you balance both sides. And I'll meet you back when I am done with my second side extension. Alright guys, we are through with both sides. As you can see, I've created the loops on both sides, and you should make sure that the number of loops that you have on this side is the same exact number of loops that you have on the opposite side. And you're going to choose what side you want to be the right side of your work. For me, this is going to be the right side of my work. And my yarn is still attached on both ends. So once you turn your work, and that means I'm going to work the final row on top using this yarn. So that means on this other end, I'm going to just make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn. And I'm going to continue from this side to clean up the top edge of my top. So to do that, you're going to make a chain of 1. I've already made a chain of 1 here. And you're going to make single crochet stitches, 2 single crochet stitches into the double crochet row or the mesh row, and then into the half double crochet rows you're going to go in there with 1 single crochet into one, and then 2 single crochets into the next, then 1 single crochet into the next row, and 2 single crochets into the next row. And you're going to repeat that until you're done with your half double crochet rows. So 1 single crochet into the next row, 2 single crochets into the next row, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. All right, so we are through with the half double crochet rows, as you can see here. And now we are going to go onto the bra cups. Remember, these are double crochet rows, so the spaces are way bigger. So you're going to go into the very first row with 2 single crochets and then 1 single crochet into the next. We want to bring it in a little bit so that it doesn't overstretch. So 2 single crochets into the next row and 1 single crochet into the next. And you're going to repeat that. 2, 1, 2, 1. So you can see your work kind of gathering up. Don't try to stretch it out so much. Just leave it as it is, because this is creating a shaping for our bra cup. Continue to place 2 single crochets, then 1 single crochet. All right, so we've made it all the way across, and I've ended with 1 single crochet into the last stitch here, which is fine. Then into the chain 2 space, you're going to place 2 single crochets and then 1 single crochet in between the groups of 3 double crochets. So into that space, you're going to place 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets into the next chain 2 space, and then into the next row you're going to place 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets into the next, and 1 single crochet into the next. And you're going to repeat that all the way across the second bra cup. All right, so we've made it across the second bra cup. You can see the gathering a little bit, which creates room for the bust area. So from here, you're going to go all the way across the half double crochet rows with 1 half double crochet, 1 single crochet into the half double crochet row, and then 2 single crochets into the next row. 1 single crochet into the next row and 2 single crochets into the next row. And you're going to repeat that all the way across until you get to the last half double crochet row where I've placed 2 single crochets, and then into the chain space you're going to place 2 single crochets, and then you're going to slip stitch into the single crochet row on the opposite side. Make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through. So we have so many loose ends to weave in, but we shall deal with them later on. So another thing that I want to point out is you can see the top side, I've worked my row on the right side, and it's the same exact side where I worked my bottom row, the final row on the bottom row. So that should match if you're not, if you're a person who pays attention to detail. So this is what we have right now. And now we're going to go ahead and push all our tails to the back side of our work. Try to push all the tails to the back side, because that's where we shall weave them in. Alright guys, this marks the end of the general construction of the top, and we are now going to create the braid that's going to create part of the strap, as well as wrap around that U-shape edging of the bra cups. So let me put this aside for now. To create your braid, we already have a tutorial of how to do this on the waffle stitch strap dress. So to do that, you're going to start off with a slip knot. And you're going to make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this counts as a double crochet, chain 1. So you're going to prepare for a double crochet. We are going to create a cluster. So yarn over, insert your hook into the very first chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same exact chain, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. This is the 3rd time. And yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. So that's the 4th time. And yarn over, pull through all. From here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work. And then we are going to create another cluster. So yarn over, insert your hook into that chain 3 space. pull up a loop. That's one. Do it again for the second time, the third time, and the fourth time. And then yarn over, pull through all. And then make a chain of one. Turn your work. From now onwards, we shall be working in the space between the two clusters below. So after turning your work, you create another cluster. So by now, you should be knowing how to make the cluster. You yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop for a total of 4 times. And then yarn over, pull through all. Chain one, turn your work. Yarn over into that space between the two clusters. There's a space there. So create a cluster. This is the 4th time. Yarn over, pull through all. Chain one and turn your work. And then there's a space here. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain one, turn your work. So you should be seeing the braid starting to form. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain one, turn your work. So the braid is going to start forming like this, and I'm going to go ahead and make it longer and longer, and I'll let you know how many braids that I ended up with, and then we shall attach it onto our top. So let me go ahead and finish up this, and then I'll come back when this is long enough. So I ended up doing a total of about 70 braids. The braid that I'm considering is this and this. So here, here, here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a total of 70 braids altogether. But you can do as long as you wish. But when you get the length that you want, don't cut your yarn, because we can adjust this braid either to make it shorter or longer depending on what we want for our top. So introduce your top and place it on the right side where you want the braid to go. And then you're going to get the back side. Remember where we started from. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I want to consider a total of 15 braids. So I've counted. Sorry, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And into the 16th, you're going to attach a stitch marker. There. This is the 16th braid. And it's the one that's going to sit on this side. You're going to leave the 15 braids behind. You can even leave 20 if you wish, but I think I'm going to leave 15 because this should be enough to at least cover up for the front side of the top. So the braid that you've marked is the one going to go here at the top edge of our top, and we are going to wrap all the way around like this, and then come back to wrap all the way around the second bra cup. And whatever length of the braid that we use, we shall make sure that we are left with the same exact number of braids on this side as we have on this side. So let's go ahead and get our darning needle and a strand of the same exact color. All right, so you're going to thread your needle just like this. And we are going to start attaching our braid. So starting with the 16th or the one that you marked, I'm going to just start working all the way around the bra cup. I'm going to leave behind a tail for weaving in. And for this part, I'm going to attach 2 times. Okay, so what we are going to do is work around. Actually, I've attached it in the wrong place. Make sure that the braid is on the edge of the very last double crochet row, because that's the edge of the bra cup. So extend it so that you're somewhere in between the double crochet and the half double crochet row. So I think mine is going to be attached here. We are going to attach our braid in the middle. The stitches that we are making are going to be placed in the middle of the braid so that they kind of disappear and don't even look like we placed them. So I'm going to just go into the next braid and out of the next braid, just like that. Into the next braid and out of the next braid. Be very intentional about where you want your braid to sit. So keep doing that. So you can see how our braid is sitting onto our top, and we can kind of not even see where we are attaching the braid. Make sure that strand is sitting in the middle of the braid so that it kind of disappears. So we are done with this side, and we are going all the way to the base of the top. Wow, I'm loving the way everything is turning out, and yeah, I'm very excited to see how this looks like. And I want to switch it up and even give it sleeves. So if that's a tutorial that you want to get, if that's something that you wish to try out, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be able to sort you out. Okay, so look at that. We have defined the shape of our bra cup. So if you feel like your work is still a bit loose, you can always go back just to reinforce the stitches to make them a little bit stronger. So this is what we have right now. Part of the strap or the braid, and then we've wrapped around our very first bra cup. So we're going onto the second side, and you're going to just keep going. And for the middle part, you're going to make sure that the braid is still facing the same exact side. Make sure you don't twist the braid. Make sure it's still going the same exact side and attach it all the way around like this. So let me just go ahead and keep attaching. All right, so we are coming to the end of attaching the braid onto the bra cups, and this is exactly what we have. It looks beautiful. And now we are going to count the number of braids that are left and see whether to reduce or increase the number of braids towards the top. That's why I told you not to cut your yarn. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And remember, this side we left a total of 15 braids. So that means I have to increase this by a total of 5 braids. So let me just go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back when I've balanced the number of braids that we have for the strap. So you can see this is longer and this is shorter. So we need to get this to the same exact level as we have here. So let me just go ahead and keep working my braid the same exact way that I showed you how. All right, when you balance, because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Once you have the same exact number of braids on each side, we are now going to create a strap. So to do that, I'm going to chain 1 after the last braid, turn my work and go into the space where I would have placed the next braid. And you're going to place a single crochet, chain 2, and now you're going to go into the same space with a double crochet. So we're going to create a strap that's going to lace up in our loops that we created on the side of the top. So chain 3 and double crochet into the space between the chain 3 and the double crochet from the previous row. And we're going to do that until we have a long enough strap. So I'm going to do a total of 20 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'll let you know how many loops that I'll do because I may need even longer. So keep doing that until you get a long enough strap that can go to the back and lace up at the back of the top. All right, so I ended up doing a total of 50 loops after the braid. And from here, I'm going to make a chain of 1. You can do it as long as you wish or as short as you wish. And then pull through. And then you're going to attach your yarn. We can get rid of this stitch marker right now because we already used it for something. So remove it, and we're going to attach our yarn on the second braid and do the same exact process as we've done on this side. So attach into the middle of the 2 parts of the braid, just like that, and then make a chain of 1, 2, and then double crochet into the same space. So that's the very first loop, and we're going to do the same exact number of loops that we have on this side. So since I have a total of 50 loops, I'm going to do a total of 50 loops on this side as well, repeating the same exact process. Hi guys, we are through with our straps. You can see how long they are. Very long because they're going to lace up at the back of the top. And we're going to go ahead and weave in all these tails, all of them. Make sure everywhere where you have a tail to weave in, you weave it in. Okay, this one was stuck at the back. But make sure you get rid of all the loose ends that you have on your top, and I'll be back to show you what to do next and show you how to lace up the top. Just push all the loose ends to the back of the project and weave them in on the wrong side of the work. All right, I think I'm done with all the loose ends on my top. And now we're going to turn our work onto the back side. Just turn your top onto the back side like this, where we don't have the braid. And you're going to fold over our work like this. Now we're going to get our straps. Make sure they're not twisted, especially at the front. Keep it flat at the front, and we're going to go ahead and lace up the back side of our top, starting from the top side, just like this. The very first loop, create an X at the back so that it creates that cute kind of lace up at the back, and then skip 2 boxes and go into the next box and lace up. Skip 2 boxes, go into the next loop, and you're going to repeat that all the way down until you lace up in the very last box. So just like a shoelace, we are creating X's at the back. Just like that, and you're going to tie a knot at the back of your top, just like this. And that marks the end of this tutorial, guys. If I make any modifications to this top, I'll let you know, and I'll also give you tutorials for it. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's see the final look of our braided crochet crop top.